In the middle of the night, you can't sleep, and then your mind starts thinking about the imperialism and colonialism of the European people in exploring the coast of Asia and Africa. And you need to find this answer on the internet. Before starting this video, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on channel notification to find out more about world history. Europe is known as one of the major regions of influence in the world. France, British Empire, the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain were the main colonial powers of Europe at that time. There are several things that motivated the European voyages and exploration of Asia and Africa. First, the development of science, with the discovery of Nicolaus Copernicus with the heliocentric theory. Helios means sun, and centrum means center. This means that the solar system is centered on the circle of the sun. The heliocentric theory was confirmed and clarified by the Italian scientist Galileo Galilei. His creation of a telescope can study clusters of stars. The development of new thinking from Copernicus and Galileo in Europe changed the view of European society about the existences of the Earth. The thinking of Copernicus and Galileo started that the Earth is the moon and the sun is the center of the solar system. This statement encouraged Europeans to sail the ocean in search of new areas. The desire to sail the ocean was even greater when a book by Marco Polo entitled Imago Mundi, or Image of the World, and Two Millennia, or A Million Wonders, appeared. Both books described the abundant wealth in the East, China and Japan. Second is economic. Before discovering the Spice Belt, Europeans only got their supplies from the trade center of West Asia. These supplies came from India, China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Next is politics. The fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Turks in 1453 was one of the important factors behind ocean exploration. This event made Europeans unwilling to trade in the West Asian trade area. As a result, trade between the Eastern and Western world was cut off, causing commodities from East and Southeast Asia to become scarce in Europe. The price of the commodities available there were relatively very expensive. Last is idealism. The existence of idealism was their main goal. Their most important objective were gold, glory, and gospel. In addition to gold, Europeans specifically sought spices, which were a significant source of wealth and sold well in European markets. Regarding glory, after securing the spice regions, the Europeans aimed to control these areas in pursuit of fame and prestige. Lastly, the gospel idealism referred to the mission of spreading Christianity as a key purpose of the exploration. But when did imperialism and colonialism actually exist in Europe? The colony system dates back to ancient Greece. At these times, farmers had moved from barren areas to fertile areas. In the history of colony development, modern colonial politics have emerged since the 16th century. This was driven by the great discoveries made by European traders. Colonialism means a form of government over a territory or country, or an attempt to obtain a territory either by force or by peaceful means. The history of the development of colonialism began when Vasco da Gama of Portugal traveled to India in 1498. Beginning with the search for a way to the east to find sources of spices, the race for colonials began. The Western powers, Portugal and Spain, followed by British and the Netherlands, competed to find spice-producing area and try to control them. Colonialism flourished after World War I. While the history of empire emerged in Britain during the development of modern industry, when Benjamin Disraeli was Prime Minister of England, he aspired to a British Empire that encompassed the entire world. The British people considered them the most powerful, or greater brain. This is because they have control and colonized much of Asia and Africa. The British considered that colonization aims to develop colonized society which are considered to be underdeveloped.
Getting this information, how was the colonialism and empire of European nations in Asia, especially Southeast Asia and Africa? Southeast Asia is one of the regions in the Asian continent. Europeans saw this region as a strategic location for international trade and rich in species called cotton and curtain areas. They compete with each other to get their colonies. Indonesia as a colony was occupied in turn by the Portuguese, Dutch, British, and even Japanese. There were also the British who successfully occupied Singapore, Brunei, Malaysia, and the Philippines by Spain. One special thing to note in the history of European colonialism in Southeast Asia is that Thailand is the only region that has never been colonized by any nation. Unlike other colonial powers that colonized for political reasons and annexation purposes, Britain occupied other territories only for the sake of economy, trade, and prosperity. After the end of colonialism, the remnant of British occupation left an important role in the development of the former British colonies. The Dutch conquered territories using vellum means. The Dutch were very enamored with the richness of the archipelago space, which at the time that was the main commodity of the Dutch nation. The Dutch occupation was mostly centered in the Java region. The Spanish at the time claimed that they were the one who discovered the Philippines, Relevos de Villalobos, who gave the name Philippines to the region. The conquest of the Philippines was carried out by the Second Spanish Expedition Force by conquering 3 Islamic kingdoms that had not been established in Manila at that time. Seeing many acts of colonialism from Western nation, Vietnam chose the path of isolation to avoid intervention from foreign nations. However, French later came and tried to occupy Vietnam. The African continent is one of the continents that has enormous natural research. The population factor that is still backward in the field of knowledge and technology makes them easily able to be colonized by Europeans. Spain and Portugal were 2 European nations that pioneered shipping and colonization in Africa. In 15th century, the conquest of the African continent by the Portuguese began with the seizure of Ceuta Island from the hands of Muslim, which was continued by occupying Tanjung Bajador, Tanjung Verde, and Tanjung Palmas. Portuguese influence grew when Bartolomé Diaz arrived at the Cape of Good Hope. The Portuguese also established many forts along the African coast. The forts were established to protect Portuguese territories. In 1950, Portuguese colonial politics underwent a change. This system implies the process of cultural assimilation, namely racial equality with different levels of culture. To achieve this, of course, the colonial government differentiated into 3 levels of population progress. First, the advanced population or civilized natives. Second, the semi-advanced indigenous population, semi-civilized native. These 2 groups live in cities and suburbs. There are also minority groups. Third, the uneducated natives who make up the majority. It was hoped that these indigenous elites could incite their fellow countrymen to comply with Portuguese colonial rule. At that time, it was not only the Portuguese who knew the natural wealth of the African continent, but their rivals, notably Spain, also knew this. In preventing conflict between these 2 European countries, the Pope has policy and power because these 2 countries adhere to devout Catholic religion. Finally, on June 6, 1494, the Tordesillas Treaty was born. The treaty divided the outside world of the European continent into 2, namely the western part for the Portuguese and the eastern part for Spain. Spain's most significant colony was in Morocco. The very small area was only used as a military base to maintain the stability of the mother country. And while The colony was also used as a base for trade routes between Europe and other Spanish colonies in Africa and America. French colonies in Africa before World War include West Africa comprising Tunis, Algeria, and Morocco. West Africa from the Sahara Desert to the Gulf of Guinea. Equatorial Africa comprising Gabon, Central Congo to Ubangi Sarithat. East Africa in the Gulf of Aden, Somalia and several islands including Madagascar, Reunion and Cameroon. French colonial policy based on the doctrine of assimilation was not easily implemented in all French territories in Africa. In Africa, colonialism led to arbitrary division of territory without regard for local ethnicity or culture, resulting in prolonged social and political conflict. In Asia, countries like India and Indonesia experienced profound economic exploitation, with Europeans utilizing their natural resources to enrich themselves. The impact of colonialism and imperialism was profound culturally, politically, and economically. Although many countries gained independence after World War II, the legacy of colonization is still felt, with many countries struggling to restore their identity and stability. Colonialism and imperialism left a lasting impact on the social, economic, and political development of both continents. So, how did it go? Write your thoughts in the comment section to discuss. See you next video. Thank you.